Heyo everybody, Haku here with this week's Tower of God discussion, and this one is going to be covering the FUG Slayers. I'm gonna just kind of discuss and explain them. So I'm not gonna go into a ton of detail on ones we have already talked about in other videos. But I'm definitely going to get into some detail, like, say, the purpose of the Slayers, name the ones we know so far, and things like that. So let's get into this. Basically, FUG is set up so that they worship their Slayers as gods. They're the Slayers, then of course they have things like elders and executives and things like that. And of course they have the followers down below. But they're gods, the Slayers. There are 11 of them there are meant to be 11 of them at any given time, because they are meant to be the ones who kill Zahard and the 10 families. There's supposed to be a Slayer for Zahard in each of the 10 families. So currently there are 7 Slayers, and of those 7, 5 have their whereabouts unknown, and 2 are acclaimed as devils. 2 are really famous and stuff as being devils. There are 4 open Slayer positions right now that nobody has filled. And Bomb said during the Dollar Show, Bomb said that most of the current Slayers are currently sleeping. So maybe the 5 that we don't know about, maybe they're somewhere hibernating, sort of like what they said of Zahard and what the 2 of the 3 lords do at any given time. Now, the first generation of FUG Slayers came about during the time when Zahard had just set up his empire or whatever, and that is of course what Grace Merche Luzlek is, and they are called Ancient Gods. The second generation came about when FUG was rising to power in the underground, and what we have now is currently considered the 3rd generation of Slayers. Of the Slayers we know, Slayer number 1 is Grace Merche Luzlek, who climbed the tower with Zahard. He's one of the most powerful rankers alive. He founded FUG, and FUG is theorized to stand for Forgiven Under Grace. So definitely want to see more about Grace Merche Luzlek, but I'm not going to go any deeper into him. Ooh, that sounded weird. Any deeper into his character than that, because I already went over him in the top 15 rankers video, and in my my Grace Merche Luzlek is Bomb's father kind of theory that I did a while back. Now we also know Slayer number 7 is Baylord Yama. Baylord Yama was a pit bull, one of the mad dogs fighting in the Bay Road, which is sort of a fighting pit for people. It's a fighting pit for slaves and I think volunteers as well and things like that. And he was known as the strongest mad dog there and became known as Yama, the Lord of the Dead, as his fighting name in the pits. Yama then went on to kill his master, escape the Bay Road, and become the first ever mad dog to climb the tower, and the only mad dog currently to have ever climbed the tower. It is rumored that another Slayer, Immort, was behind this event, but that again is just one of the things that SIU has told us is rumored. Once he became a ranker, Yama came back, killed the owner of the Bay Road, and became both the king of the Bay Road and and a Slayer at the same time. So it said that his test from FUG to become a Slayer was to conquer the Bay Road or to kill the guy and take it over. So he became a Slayer and king of Bay Road same time. It is said that Baylord Yama he hasn't been seen since becoming a Slayer. He hasn't been seen face to face, but he uses his money and influence that he makes from the Bay Road to open up adult pleasure and entertainment facilities throughout the tower and increase his underworld influence and such. And what I mean by adult pleasure and entertainment places are, they say it's pretty much sex, alcohol, and gambling, things like that. So he opens up facilities like that throughout the tower. He's a big, like, underworld kingpin pretty much, and the strongest mad dog to ever live. In fact, he took 3 of his mad dogs that were like his slaves fighting in the pits, that were specially bred from a bunch of different important and strong families, and sent those 3 mad dogs to climb the tower to show his strength, as like examples of what his slaves, what his pit fighters are capable of. And we've already seen 2 of those 3, being Varagarv and Buelsar Elliot. And another slayer that we know currently is a slayer is Immort, yet we do not know anything about him, literally anything. He's rumored to have been the one to have orchestrated that event where Yama killed his master and escaped, but other than that, we know absolutely nothing about him. Next up, of course, is the slayer Karaka, a fellow student of Ha Sung. He owns a Zahard ring, and he hides his appearance behind armor, and he just hides his appearance behind armor. So SIU said he originally didn't intend to hide his face with the armor, but around that time in the story there were so many new characters coming in, including Ha Sung, that he wanted Karaka to wear the armor to be more mysterious. But we do know that beneath the armor he has yellow eyes and yellow hair, and it's assumed that he's a he, but we don't really know Karaka's gender. So I think it's a very interesting similarities to Wangnan with the ring and yellow eyes and hair. So I think it could be I think we may find out that Karaka and Wangnan could potentially even be related. Like, imagine if they're both actually princes of Zahard, and maybe being princes of Zahard, Wangnan doesn't know about it, or he's hiding it or something. He's climbing the tower to surpass Zahard, but Karaka got in with FUG to try to kill Zahard. Maybe Karaka knows the sort of things that Grace Merche Luzlek knows that made him want to turn on Zahard. Who knows? Or Karaka could always be a princess of Zahard that jumped ship and said, I'm going to fight against the guy that gave me this power. We know that Karaka is very influential with the elders of FUG, whether that means that he's charismatic or that he has some sort of other weight behind him. He's very influential with what the elders will do and think. And it said that when he was climbing the tower, he was given a bunch of special tasks to undermine the rules of the games as he climbed, and he did all of those side tasks for FUG whilst climbing. Lastly, we know that Karaka, he advocates for swift action against Zahard and the 10 families, regardless of morals. He does not let morals get in the way of striking a blow at Zahard and the 10 families. Lastly, we know that White was the number 10 Slayer, but that is formerly, and now currently Joaquin and Baum are the 2 known Slayer candidates, the ones we know of. There could potentially be even more, since there are 4 open spaces for Slayers. So that was about it. That was all we know so far of the Slayers of FUG, but I thought it would be an interesting video to discuss and go over what we know so far about them. I thank you all so very much for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there, let me know what you think of the Slayers, let me know if I missed anything or messed anything up. Just tell me what you thought about it all. Subscribe for more Tower of God, One Piece, Walking Dead, and more. There's going to be a ton of all those series. It's going to keep on rolling, but that's it for that. Follow on Twitter for updates. I will tweet out whenever I post a new video or if anything needs to be pushed back. And that's it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.